In the lab, we're in the lab, we're in the lab. Welcome back to another edition of Inside the Lab with your host, the one and only CP. Um, wow, what a weekend. What a playoff weekend. We had a couple games. Hold on. There we go. We're all set now. Um, so yeah, what a weekend. A lot of playoff actions, a lot of surprises here. Um, So before we get into that, I just want to clear up a couple rumors here. So the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Jets have swapped franchises. The New York Jets will be receiving Chris Pyers and Oscar Moss, and the Philadelphia Eagles will be receiving Tony Pollard, Justin Fields, and a D lineman. I forget his name. So Coach Heggs reached out to me a couple weeks, maybe a couple days ago, and said it would be his lifelong dream to own the or be the leader of the Philadelphia Eagles. And I myself, being a nice person that I am, said, you know what, you're a diehard Eagles fan. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a diehard Eagles fan as well, but he just said it would fulfill his dreams. And I said, you know what? I haven't really done anything with the Eagles recently. Let me just get my guy, Chris Pyers. I want the number one pick that I worked so hard for this year. And we'll make it happen. So we're currently under negotiating um, to see who gets what, who goes where. I know those players are involved. There could be a couple draft picks because overall, the New York Jets roster is way more talented than the Philadelphia Eagles roster. So I would feel like, being, the guy that I am, I felt like he should get some of his players and I'll give him a couple picks of his own back, whatever. So yes, the Philadelphia Eagles and New York Jets, clean swap, couple players, couple picks, boom, bad, bing. That's it. All done. Wash our hands with that. And before I dive into the playoffs, I just want to address something, right? A poll goes out when draft day is. Usually, draft day is the day after the Super Bowl. In regards to this week, the Super Bowl is being played around 6 p.m. And we got a lot of hoopla, a lot of banter about how people want to draft, want to draft, want to draft, want to draft. I'm both ways, right? I could see like guys, have watched the playoff games and want to get back into the swing of the regular season. I can also see like, everyone voted, right? Or most people voted. If you did not vote, then that's on you. But like, if the polls come out and you vote for Tuesday or Monday, 8 p.m., 9 p.m., whatever it is, like, and that wins, like, we got to stick to that because every year this comes up. Every year, people just want to rush, 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 draft, 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 and life's about a little bit of patience every once in a while. Take a step back, right? We're gonna fly through another regular season, so let's just take a moment, breathe, enjoy the Super Bowl, enjoy the playoffs, and go from there because like the draft will happen regardless if it's tonight or tomorrow. Like in my opinion, it's not like that big of a deal. Like everyone needs to just kind of pump the brakes, pump them, pump them. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to resign guys and shit like that until the draft. It's tomorrow. I hope it's tomorrow because I'm not going to be, well, I'll make it work. But, guys, every year, every season comes to a close, and it's usually Z, which we're going to try to get him on here this week sometime. Because he's a big advanced guy, and he's a big. Right after the Super Bowl, we should fly into the draft. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not not against it, not for it. It is what it is. So, but we'll see. We did pretty good job at the playoffs. I don't, we got done. I guess started Saturday, right after the awards and MML All League teams and all that, and then it's now Monday. So we did a good job. I mean, I don't expect anyone to play Madden during like the real football because that if you watched any of them games yesterday, it was fantastic. You know, we have a couple big storylines. You know, for this week, upcoming week, we're gonna have the Cincinnati Bengals on tomorrow. He was supposed to be on today. Well, originally it was tomorrow. Then I hit him up and said, "Yo, can you come on today?" And then I forgot. I was doing something around 6 p.m. That's why we're doing a solo right now. And then so we got Cincinnati Bengals on Tuesday, and then we have a little bit after the Bengals come on. We're gonna have the draft party. I think Commissioner's gonna be on there. Cass. I think the Chargers. I think the Raiders. The Falcons might be on. Anyone who else wants to come on to the draft party. I'm pretty sure we can have a bunch of people. Just hit me up and I'll send you the link and it'll be a good time. We're just gonna go through the first round. Watch people's reactions and shit like that. If it's a dud, then we'll never do it again. But if it works, we'll keep it rolling. So Wednesday we got Coach Levi, the Washington football team. Um, Levi had a good run at the end of the year, came up a little short, so we'll be interested to see what his offseason moves were and going into, I think, season six now. On Thursday, we got Coach Matt Dale. Matt Dale just recently fired Coach Joe Judge, and after a disappointing first round exit, I thought he would do a little bit better, but we'll dive into that. So that's Thursday and Friday. We're still up in the air. We're still open. We don't know yet. Here it looks a little weird right there. We don't know who's going to be on. Maybe we'll get the Denver Broncos. Maybe the Raiders. Maybe the Snowhawks. You know. Um, Up to date live action. The New York Giants have narrowed down the coaching search to looks like Vic Fangio, Arthur Smith, David Culley, Matt Nagy, and Robert Sala. So that'd be interesting to see what Coach. Just can't figure it out right now. Just can't figure it out with the hat. Like, should I wear the hat? Shouldn't I wear the hat? Fuck it, we're just gonna wear the hat. Yeah, whatever. All right. So let's dive into this playoff weekend. So we had a couple teams who we thought were in, and then the Bengals came in and said, "Nah, I'm winning my last game." I don't know if that had anything to fuck it up, but as of our last podcast, the LA Rams were in. Now, games were played, advances happened, uh, 49ers made it. Don't know how. I guess Madden's algorithm with strength of schedule and all that type of shit happened, and somehow the 49ers made it. So they were the seventh seed, and it worked out to be, I believe it was Seahawks one, Lions two, Giants three or four, Cardinals five, Falcons four. I'm fucking this up. Totally fucking it up. But I know the two wild card teams were the Cardinals, Bears, and the 49ers. So that was the NFC. In the AFC, it was the Brownies, Bills, Chiefs, Patriots, Raiders, Ravens. Ravens. I told you the Ravens had a shot. I didn't think they would make it, and then they snuck in there and they made it. So congratulations to Coach Warren of the Baltimore Ravens and the Jaguars. So we're gonna break down them playoff games a little bit. We're gonna dive into a huge matchup. Um, in the divisional round. So in the wild card rounds, the Jags barely edged the Ravens 40-37. Dak Prescott threw for 352 yards, two TDs, and one interception, while Lamar Jackson was 19 for 31. 292 yards, three TDs, and three interceptions. Nick Chubb ran the ball 17 times for 110, one TD. Isaiah Mullins also had 29 yards on the ground and one touchdown. Dak also ran another one in. Darnell Mooney of the Jags had 9 for 126, a TD. Gallup was three catches, 105 yards, and a touchdown. Tornetta, TJ Tornetta also had 97 yards and two TDs. Junior Shields also had a pick six. So that game came down to a field goal. I did not watch it. I'm not sure if it was streamed or what, but close games, Jags advance. Uh, and here we go again, right? Lions come in there with the two seed, and they face the red hot 49ers. Now, I just don't know with Ardman because like it's like his team is so good and he has these great regular seasons. I mean, he came in there as a number two seed, and it doesn't look like Fowler had the best day. Um, to be honest, because he 17 for 27, 268, two TDs, four interceptions. Now I know he fired his coach, he's talking about possibly relocating, possibly upgrading the stadium. So I don't know with him. And now with the Bears in that division, it's like, will we see him get that two seed again? Because he held the one, or no, he didn't. He had the one seed last year. I mean, it's gonna be. I would really love to see the Lions win a playoff game. I think he's been in the playoffs every almost every season this year so far, has not won, and that's it's. I mean, it's got to be demoralizing, right? Uh, yeah, you're putting up all these big numbers. Olave in the wild card game had 6 for 113 and a touchdown. Um, you know, Judy had like 3 for 70 and a touchdown. But it's like when the playoffs come and he's facing the big boys, he just doesn't get over that hump. And I would love to see him get over that hump. I mean, I think he's a great Madden player, and he's a great regular season guy. I mean, I believe he has like a lot. He has definitely has a lot of wins. He's definitely a 10 to 12 win team a year. But when it comes to the playoffs, it's just like one and done every year. So I'm looking heading into next season. I'm looking for the Lions to maybe maybe run the ball a little bit more, kind of reinvent their offense. I know they were trying to go for X factors and stuff, but when it comes playoff time, as you'll see with the 49ers, their game plan changes because Nicky McIntosh did not have a great day throwing the ball. He's 208 yards. He was 18 for 28, but he had four picks and a touchdown, right? But Joey Nolan was 15 for 80, two TDs. Jalen Johnson also had a pick six. DJ Moore. I mean, these aren't great. No, I mean, Nolan out of the backfield had 10 receptions for a buck oh 07. DJ Moore had 5 for 88 and a touchdown. And, we've seen this time and time again with the 49ers. I mean, there was talks, right before the awards ceremony and stuff like that on Friday, I believe, that, how would you feel if you're 12 and funny enough, I was asking Juwan of the Rams how, he, because we thought he was in, right? Joey won or whatever, and Joey snuck in there. And the 49ers have been the hottest team in football since they were 6-5. And I'm pretty sure he rattled off 6, 7, maybe 8 games in a row. There might have been a loss mixed in there. But, I mean, he is playing playoff football all while with a normal quarterback who, who's just a stud, really. Um, so moving on back to the AFC, we had the Vegas Raiders 35 over the upstart uh, Patriots 29. Um, it's nice to see Coach Seth get back into the win column in the playoffs. I know he lost that heartbreaker last year to Mexico City, so it was nice to see him get another win, get back in there, get the juices flowing a little bit, playoff football, and get the W. But let me tell you something about this Patriots team. He took over the team from Sam Forsythe. I probably said his last name wrong. I apologize. But Sam did not do a great job in New England. Sam won a total of, I think he won one game in 3 years. And I think his name's Dougie. Coach Dougie of the Patriots came in and literally like turned this whole team around. He was in contention. He had a 22% chance to make the playoffs in week 14 or 15. And he ended up being the four or five seed. You know, and he ran into a red hot Vegas Raiders. But I mean, I would like to see. I'm gonna play him twice a year now. It's gonna be a fun AFC East. So we'll see. I mean, great job to you. My hat is off to you, Patriots. You did a fantastic. You did a fantastic job this year. Just a couple numbers here. Lance threw for 425. He had 5 TDs and 3 picks. Logan Lane was 10 for 17, buck 75 through the air, 3 TDs, 3 interceptions. Dalvin Cook was a straight animal. 31 touches or 31 carries, 254 yards, a touchdown. Ricky Taylor, the third, also added 46 yards on the ground. Hollywood Brown had I think it was 4 for 94. I don't think it was 194 and 3 TDs. It could be 4 for 194. Knowing Seth and 3 TDs. Waddle had 2 for 101. Alberto also pitched in with 2 TDs, and Darnell Savage had 11 tackles and 1 pick. So this brings us to the Bears Giants, right? Tua's last game. Coach Matt Dale, before season started, this was Tua's last dance. He wanted to make, because people forget that Tua and the New York Giants upset the 49ers, I think it was season 3 in the playoffs to advance to the divisional round. And that was not the case this time, you know. And I guess after the game, Coach Matt Dale had enough. Said, Joe Judge, you're out, gone. See you later. We don't want you. Local kid, Lansdale Catholic Bull said, bye bye. We're on the hunt for a new guy to win us the big ball game. The final score was 13-3, so not a lot of offense, and for the Giants or for really the Bears. Not a lot of offense in this game. So if you took the under in this game, which I believe it was 36 and a half, you banked. You scored. You got your money's worth. And I mean, then if you're looking at the numbers wise, very pedestrian, right? You had Watson 8 for 21, 96 yards and a touchdown, 1 interception. Tua, Tua had a. I mean, this was his. I mean, this had to be the he was 9 for 19, 104 yards, and 5 interceptions. I mean, his last game as a New York Giant when he had 3, 4 division titles under their guy's belt, lead that to 3 to 4 division titles, 5 interceptions. I mean, he was just feeling all types of pressure. Is what it looked like. Derrick Henry ran fucking wild. He had 219 yards on the ground, no touchdowns. But Hammond had a mediocre game, 95 yards and a fumble. Devontae Adams scored it looks like the only touchdown of the ball game. Murphy Jr. had 8 tackles and 2 picks, and Rutherford had 2 picks. So good luck, Coach Matt Dale, in your head coaching search. It's been a pleasure playing against you in the NFC East for 3 seasons. You're one of the best, fundamentally sound football coaches we have in the MML. Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The Bills edge the Chiefs 24-17. Matt Jaffe comes back from his, little fucking, I don't know, his little dance party down there in Florida where, riding bikes and smoking joints. A lot of questions going in that for Matt Jaffe because a lot of people were saying that his head wasn't focused in the game or on football. He was worried about, riding bikes around town with his sandals on, looking like a Cheech and Chong member. But he came back, took care of business 24-17, right? Mahomes had 2 picks and a tutty. Murray had a average game, 123 and 2 picks. Jacobs was the workhorse, 22 for 100, 2 TDs. Don Brown was 10 for 49. Marion had 8 receptions for 98 yards and a tut, and AJ Brown was 9 for 64. Chase Young also had a pick six. John Abrams had a hell of a game, 5 tackles, one interception, 1 touchdown. So I mean, I'm curious to know if the Chiefs had any forced fumbles. Definitely curious about that because that man has to lead the league in forced fumbles. And I mean, hats off to you, Ramsey. That was a great season out of you, Kansas City. Just came up a little short in the playoffs, and Matt fucking Jaffe. We'll get to him. I got my notepad. I got it all written down and shit. So the Cards blanked the Falcons 34 nothing. Kerry King's first playoff game. You could tell, you could tell the Rook was shook. I mean, he only threw the ball 9 times, had 4 picks. Um, it's got to be embarrassing for Coach Forrest. He was on the podcast last Wednesday or Thursday, I believe, and he said, "Listen, man, I'm not. I'm sitting here at 9-6, or yeah, 9-6, and if I lose these last 2 games, I'll be embarrassed." Well, he went out and laid an egg, and then I know there was like a disconnect in the game. Um, I just expect more out of you, Coach Forrest. 34 nothing. I know B Mills, like, he turns it on in the playoffs, but you're one hell of a Madden player. So luckily I seen a little activity on the group me that Coach Forrest is trying to get rid of his stud running back there, Devin Mason, Quentin Nelson, Demiri Bird. Um, you know, if I have anything to say to you viewers out there, Coach Forrest does get deals done, and he's fair. He's not a guy that's gonna, rip you off or anything like that. So he's got a couple studs on the block. I know Mason's probably about 27, 28 by now, so he's inching towards 30. Big Q's at 30, and I think Bird's probably in the same range as Mason. So those are conclusions of the wild card round. So we had the Jags, Niners, Raiders, Bears, Bills, Cardinals advancing, right? And we had the Brownies and the Seahawks were both sipping mojitos in I think it was California. So those guys were both sipping mojitos in California. I'm not sure if they were. We'll get to it because they came out a little flat, to be honest with you. So we'll just dive right into it. The Bears take care, or the Cardinals take care of the Bears 21-10. Allen had another average game, 207 for two TDs and an interception. Watson did not have his best game of the year, 5 picks, 190 yards. Anthony Schwartz showed up and said, "Hey guys, I'm here for 4 catches, 104 yards, and 1 touchdown." Javon Holland also had a TD on defensive pick six, and Justin Simmons was all over the fucking field, 10 tackles and 3 picks. Derrick Henry did what Derrick Henry did, but he kind of got slowed down a little bit. He only had 115 yards and a touchdown. Um, the Jags beat the Bengals 24-14. No, this is playoff football, man. These games are going to be close. No numbers really jump out at me here. Trey Lance did have 3 picks, no touchdowns. Rick Taylor had 7 receptions for 102. Chubb had 81 for a TD. TJ Tornetta had 7 for 76. And Tony Santos of the Raiders had 5 TFLs. So, and here we go, right? So while the Seattle Seahawks, my fucking lock to be in the Super Bowl, um, while he was on his bye week, he was out with the Browns sipping mojitos in California, and the 49ers were just dialing it up, game planning, ready. And I don't know if the Seahawks thought he was just going to waltz right into the Super Bowl or what, but they lost 31-28. The red hot San Francisco 49ers. Um, I mean, Nicky McIntosh had an average game of 117 and a touchdown. Bobby Dickinson threw 4 picks. Joey Nolan and from the backfield had 166 yards and 2 TDs. Cam Akers had 3 TDs. But listen, the 49ers came in ready, and the Seahawks did not. So I don't know if it was the mojitos in Cali or if Coach Coop um, didn't think he would. I think thought maybe he would roll Joey. I'm not sure really how that happened or what went down and what was Coach Coop's thinking because you lost me 500, brother, and hope those mojitos were worth it. And then we get to the game of the year, game of the century. This is right up there with the has to be right up there. It's probably one lower than when Coop beat Taddy. The Bengals over the Bills. I'm not 100% sure the final score, but what happened was Coach Taddy was a little hungover, just like Coach Coop from the Mojitos. That he came out flatter than a piece of paper and threw three pick six, and then all of a sudden, right, game is going totally Matt Jaffe's way, totally Buffalo's way. All of a sudden, desync. Everyone was up in arms. I mean, you had 25 viewers watching this stream. And I thought, sitting there watching, I was like, well, this is it. I think at the time, Jaffe was up 14. Um, I think I think Taddy just scored a touchdown, and then the desync happened. And you know, I don't know all the momentum, whether it actually is in Madden or not, and the old gen. It just deflated Coach. It seemed like it just deflated Coach Jaffe. But little did we know, right? Coach Jaffe took the boys to the locker room while everyone was working out the kinks of the desync, and he said, "We got nothing to lose here, fellas. Let's go out and give it our all." And he came out, and I think he went three and out. And then the Bengals scored two touchdowns, so it was tie going into the last quarter, and he threw a fucking dot to AJ Brown in the back end of the end zone that I thought it was going to be picked, and he came away victorious. So this is my Coach Jaffe of the Buffalo Bills. You're not a pretender. I mean, you played the game of your life. Hopefully, you can take care of business in the championship game here, which we'll get into in a minute, because you just did a phenomenal job. And you know, let me get into something real quick. NFC Championship game. 49ers 34, Cardinals 31. 49ers 34, Cardinals 31. Yes, you heard that correctly. The Cardinals walked into Arizona and said, I don't give a fuck who the fuck you are. Goat, non goat, 1B, 1A. I'm fucking Joey Castleberry, and I'm coming in here and I'm punching you in the mouth, and I'm taking whatever you wanted this season, and it's going to be mine. And that's what he did. That's what he did. Nicky McIntosh balled the fuck out, had 319 through the air, two touchdowns. Um, Joey Nolan had another fantastic game, 100 yards on the ground, two TDs. Anthony Schwartz also, had 103 TDs. Apparently, there were. I did not watch the game. I was like on a chimney, high as fuck, cold as shit out. So I could not watch the game. Apparently, there should have been an interception. Wasn't an interception. What are you gonna do? It's funny. All year we were looking at this collision course, right? Browns, Cards, Browns, Cards. And what happens? Coach Matt Jaffe happened. One. Um, Coach Joey Castleberry. Everyone wrote off Coach Cass, and I have to tip my hat to both them guys. Everyone wrote Coach Cass off. Normal quarterback, no abilities. You ain't gonna get it done. Slow start. He said, "Fuck all y'all. Um, I'm ripping off 10 straight for to go to the Super Bowl." And then we have and then the Bills were just like, they're waiting. Their game should be kicking off in about an hour or so. Bills Jaguars, and I really don't know. I really don't know. I didn't think Coach Jaff had a shot to beat Coach Taddy, but he walked in there and said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna beat your ass." And didn't really beat his ass, but I mean he came away with the victory here, and I mean it's going to be an interesting one. I like the Bills here. I like the Bills in a close game, probably a 3-point game. just because I don't know if the Jags can stop Jacobs. You know it's coming. You know it's coming, and you can't stop it. So we'll see what happens with that. And congratulations to Coach Castleberry on the victory over the Cardinals. Um, hopefully you can get yourself another Super Bowl here, and hopefully we will be able to watch a great game. Just trying to keep you updated. A lot of boys on the block, so we'll see what happens. So it's just a quick podcast that recaps. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but tomorrow we'll have Coach Warner of the Cincinnati Bengals. I hope I said that right. Wednesday we'll have Coach Levi. Here we go, Coach Levi of the Washington Football Team. Thursday we're gonna have Coach Judge, Coach Dale Judge or Matt Judge or Matt Dale. What the fuck? Matt Dale, and then hopefully Friday we'll get the Seahawks on here and talk about his big disappointment of a year. And listen, that's all I got for you today. Um, Draft tomorrow. We should be by Wednesday. We'll be in full swing of the new season. Hopefully, everyone has a great day. Peace.